What is up, my friends? Welcome to Flippin' Bats. Opening weekend of Major League Baseball is in the books, and there are a million things to talk about. One, the Yankees, the Torpedo Bats. Is it illegal? Is it fair game? What are they doing? There's a lot of talk about what the New York Yankees are doing and these bats that they're using that we haven't seen before. So we'll talk all about the Yankees and the torpedo bats. We'll talk about Rafael Devers and his brutal start at the plate. We have some best bets today for Monday's slate of games. Two best bets there. Padres Braves series tells us a lot. Padres sweep the series. Padres are 4-0. The Atlanta Braves, who I picked to win the World Series, are 0-4. Does this series say more about the Padres or more about the Braves? And am I worried about them? We'll talk about that. We have power rankings, first regular season power rankings of the year. So the first adjustment of the season. There will be a lot of movement from the ones that came out before opening day started. A lot of movement there, but a lot happened in Major League Baseball that we're going to talk all about. This is great. So much happened over the first couple days and over the first weekend. So I'm excited to talk all about it. Let's start today, by the way, with a best bet for Monday's action. I am going to start with the Philadelphia Phillies minus 1.5 runs against the Colorado Rockies. This team is coming home. They get their home opener against the Rockies team that is not very good. There's a lot of guys on this team that do really well against German Marquez, who is slated to start for the Rockies. So I like this a lot. Give me the Philadelphia Phillies minus 1.5 runs in their home opener against the Colorado Rockies as my first FanDuel Sportsbook best bet of the day. Check all that out on FanDuel Sportsbook. Let's talk Yankees. This is the biggest story. Biggest story of opening weekend is the New York Yankees. One, the team, right? They're always going to be a talking point, especially when they're good. I would say more down on the Yankees than maybe most this year. I thought they took a step back. I know they added Bellinger, they added Goldschmidt, but I'm not super high on the Yankees this year in terms of I don't have them winning the AL East. But they started off the season incredibly well. They are undefeated 3-0 against the Milwaukee Brewers, put up 20 runs in the Saturday game of the season. 20 runs in Saturday's game. On Saturday, the game started with back-to-back home runs. The Yankees hit back-to-back home runs to start the game on 3 pitches. That has never happened in Major League Baseball history before, where a team starts the game with 3 homers on 3 pitches. They go on to score 20 runs in that game. They hit 9 homers, which was an all-time New York Yankees record. When you're talking New York Yankees all-time records, you know it just means a little bit more. They hit 9 homers in that game, which was a franchise record. It continued into Sunday, hit a bunch more homers on Sunday, 15 home runs in the first 3 games of the season is what the Yankees have done, which tied the all-time record. So offense galore. Saturday was all against Nestor Cortez, by the way. Nestor, former Yankee, first year not as a Yankee, goes to the Brewers and absolutely tee off against him. The first 3 pitches he throws after going to the Brewers from the Yankees, first 3 pitches he throws as a Brewer are all homers. So it did not go well for him. But the big talking point became the torpedo bat. What does that mean? What is it? All I know is I would watch the game, I would see the game, and I would look at the video and say, well, that bat just looks weird. What is it? Well, let's talk about it. The torpedo bat, as it's being dubbed, is now being used by Anthony Volpe, Cody Bellinger, and Jazz Chisholm. Those are the guys in the Yankees lineup that are currently using it. And what we've gone on to learn is that this MIT genius, this guy named Lenny, who's a physicist, is on the Yankees payroll and invented the torpedo bat and says that it, quote, brings more wood and mass to where you most often make contact as a hitter. The idea is to increase the number of barrels and decrease the number of misses. So if you look at a photo, it doesn't look normal. You can see a photo of Jazz Chisholm holding the bat on his shoulder, and it genuinely looks like a torpedo. It's not just this baseball bat that gets thicker as you go. It gets thicker right around just past the label of the bat and then actually thins out a little bit after that. So it begged the question after they're hitting 9 homers in a game, scoring 20 runs, hitting 15 homers in 3 games, which ties an all-time record. It begged the question, is this legal? Are the Yankees cheating? Is this fair? What is happening? Let's discuss that. First off, let's just get right to the rule. The rules of a baseball bat state the bat can't be more than 2.61 inches in diameter at its thickest part. The bat shall be smooth the bat shall be a smooth round stick, not more than 2.61 inches in diameter at the thickest part and not more than 42 inches in length. The bat shall be one piece of solid wood. To it. That's all the rules state. Those are the rules as we currently speak. All that to say, this is a nothing of a situation in terms of the baseball bat. They're not cheating. They're not doing anything outside of what the rule book says you can do or can't do. They're well within the rules. This guy named Lenny says, look here, Anthony Volpe. I looked at your analytics. You're often making contact a little bit below where the barrel of the bat is. Why don't we just move the barrel, essentially? Why don't we just move the biggest part of the bat so that it's where you make contact the most? And I really started thinking about it. The baseball bat, the wooden bat, has essentially looked the same since 1900 when Babe Ruth and Ty Cobb were using a bat that starts at the handle, it's very thin, and then it gets thicker and thicker as the bat goes. How are we here in 2025 and a baseball bat essentially looks the same as what Babe Ruth was using? I actually can't believe it's taken this long to evolve. It seems like we finally have. And from what I know and what I see, not only is this legal, but everyone else is going to start copying this. Baseball is a copycat league. In all of the world, it is. You figure out something, everyone else adapts. And I know the Atlanta Braves have already put in an order for these bats. I know Manny Machado on Sunday Night Baseball was asked about these, and he said, I have no idea what they are, but they should send a few over here if they're going to be hitting homers like that. So whoever makes them, they can send a few on over to Petco Park with this big ballpark over here. So, look, players are seeing it. Players are noticing. Players are taking advantage of it by saying, I want these. Why can't we have these? And anybody that's all up in arms over this is ridiculous to be up in arms over. Look, the rules are clear and obvious. The bat at the thickest part can't be more than 2.61 inches in diameter. If it's not that, it's well within the rules. Everything beyond that makes total sense. We're in a day and age where analytics can tell you everything. If I'm a hitter and I know from analytics, look, I'm walking up to the plate. I'm often getting pitched in a similar way. I am often making contact with the ball in the exact same place. What can I do about it? Well, why don't we take the hardest part of the bat, the barrel, if you will, and move it to where you're most making contact? So this totally makes sense. Anthony Volpe's doing it. Bellinger's doing it. Jazz is doing it. You know who's not doing it? Aaron Judge. And his quote was, well, no, I'm not going to do it. What I've done the past couple of seasons speaks for itself. Because Aaron Judge is barreling balls up on the barrel of his bat. And it's not to say guys are getting blown up and they're, getting, jammed and they're putting the barrel of the bat just above the handle. No, it's just, okay, am I making contact on the literal barrel, if you will, where we're told the barrel is? Or is it just a couple centimeters below that? And for a lot of these guys, that answer is just a couple centimeters below. So they're moving the barrel of the bat to that area, and I have no problem with it. And nobody should. This isn't a big deal. It's fine. And it makes total sense to me. So the New York Yankees, the only reason I think this is even a story is because the Yankees came out and hit a million home runs in opening weekend, and then you see these bats and you say that's not normal. What's happening here? Is this legal? The answer to that is yes, it's legal, and the Yankees offense is good. And Aaron Judge is incredible. Aaron Judge has 4 homers over the first 3 games. He hit 3 homers in the second game of the season. That game where they hit 9 homers Saturday, Aaron Judge was 3 of them, including a grand slam, and came up just short of his 4th homer in his last at bat, albeit against a position player. The New York Yankees as a whole, I know we're 3 games in, and I know it was against a Brewers team that I was a little bullish on, though I was last year as well, and that bit me in the tail when they went and won the division. I'm not super high on this Brewers team, but I do think what this shows me, albeit early, is that this Yankees offense is going to be good, better than I thought it would be. Cody Bellinger looks really good, really good. Paul Goldschmidt, good opening series, hitting for some power. But the big thing for me with this lineup is Jazz. If Jazz is going to be this guy, which I've believed Jazz can and will continue to evolve into being a great player in this league, and also bring the energy and the swag that this Yankees organization as a whole needs. If Jazz Chisholm can provide depth to the lineup, this Yankees team that we're seeing right now is going to be a problem. So that's the learn here. Not what are these torpedo bats legit? It's no, this Yankees lineup is is good. That's my learn. That's my takeaway. The Yankees are 3-0. Offense looks really good. Yes, they're using torpedo bats. The Twins have been using this bat as well. It's not just the Yankees, and it's not just this year. Teams and organizations have dabbled with this in the past. We're now just seeing the Yankees take these into games. I know the Braves' new rookie catcher talked about it and said, "Yeah, I use these in the Arizona Fall League." So it's not this new thing just for this year. Lenny, the physicist and an MIT genius, didn't just in 2025 say, you know what? I have an idea. He's had an idea. Players have used it. It's been becoming a thing, and now we're seeing Yankees players use it, Twins players use it, Braves ordering them, and I think we'll see a lot more around the league. The data, the analytics is simple. I hit the ball here more often than I hit it here. Why don't I move the most wood to that prior spot where I hit the ball the most? Seems pretty obvious. Nobody's cheating here. This is all nothing. The Yankees are good. That's what's happening. New York Yankees 3-0 start to the season. The Los Angeles Dodgers, speaking of being undefeated, the Los Angeles Dodgers are 5-0. You can't go 162-0 without going 5-0, and that's what the Dodgers have done so far this year. They swept the opening Tokyo series against the Cubs. They sweep their opening series on American soil against the Detroit Tigers, and here they are 5-0. First time that the defending World Series champions have started a season 5-0 since the 1985 Detroit Tigers. That's what we're seeing right now. When I look at this Dodgers team, I see them being 5-0, and I genuinely have watched them play every game and think to myself, this team isn't playing all that well, and they're 5-0, which is remarkable to think about. You've had starts that haven't been all that great from starting pitchers. Blake Snell wasn't in true form yet. Roki Sasaki only got through an inning and 2/3 the other day, did not look great in his second start, was clearly emotional after his start. His stuff looks really good, but he hasn't yet figured it out and been able to put it all together and find his command. So what I've been seeing is that this Dodgers team is not close to firing on all cylinders, and they're sitting here undefeated, 5-0 start. And the reason I think is just because you have so many guys on any given night that can just bail you out, right? Like if you're watching most teams around the league. Let's say, I don't know, let's say the Texas Rangers, and you have Jacob deGrom on the mound. If Jacob deGrom doesn't pitch well and Corey Seager has a bad day at the plate, you pretty much know you're going to lose the game. With the Dodgers, if Roki Sasaki can only go an inning and two thirds, and let's say Mookie Betts doesn't get a hit, well, it's like, well, what does Shohei Ohtani do? What does Freddie Freeman do? And currently with this Dodgers team, it's what is Tommy Edman doing and Teoscar Hernandez? They just don't stop. So their team just has the ability to rally around and make look, Roki Sasaki had a bad start. Guess what? It didn't matter. This team ended up doing just fine. Tommy Edman hit a homer, Freddie Freeman hit a homer. Shohei's hitting 333 with a 1200 OPS. This team just has guy after guy that can bail you out. You have a bad start, Mookie, Freddie, and Shohei are there. You have a decent start, Freddie goes over. Guess what? Shohei Ohtani and Mookie Betts can carry the team. And just watching that and seeing it happen has been fascinating. This Dodgers team is not firing on all cylinders. I wouldn't even say they're close to it, yet they're undefeated. They're 5-0. They look fantastic. Through their first 5 games, listen to this. Through their first 5 games, they're 5-0. They've scored 30 plus runs, 20 plus walks, 10 plus homers, 55 plus strikeouts on the mound, and 0 errors. Sort of a hodgepodge of statistics there, right? But you put all that together and never had any MLB team in history done that over any 5 game span throughout the season. Forget the first 5 games of the year where they're 5-0 and have scored 30 plus runs, 20 plus walkouts, 10 plus homers, 55 Ks on the mound, 0 errors. Over any point of the entire season, no team in history has ever done that. That's how good this team is. They're very, very good. They're very deep. They have tons of depth, and anybody can carry them on any given night. Mookie Betts has the ability to win a game on his own any night. Shohei Ohtani, obviously, the ability any given night to take over, win a game. Freddie Freeman, same deal. Blake Snell, Roki Sasaki, Yamamoto. I won't yet put Sasaki in that realm because he hasn't proven that. But Blake Snell, Yamamoto, Glasnow, all of those guys have the ability to take over and win you a game on their own. So if 3 of the 5 don't do well, the other ones can win you the game on their own. That's how good this team is. They're extremely deep. Shohei Ohtani hitting 333 with a 1200 OPS and 2 homers to start the year. He's on an absolute tear. Opening game, home opener in Los Angeles, opposite field homer to get the crowd absolutely going crazy. It is fascinating to watch how he goes about his business and how good he is and how much he's able to rise to the occasion, no matter really what the occasion is. Home opener, World Series champs, you're getting your gold jerseys on, you're getting your rings. Shohei Ohtani is going to put on a performance for the crowd. They showed Tom Hanks in the crowd there going absolutely nuts, yelling at Shohei for something to happen. Then he homers and he's freaking out and screaming in the crowd. It's remarkable. Shohei Ohtani is the greatest baseball player of all time. That's all I have to say right now. And he's starting off the year doing Shohei Ohtani things. And throwing another bullpen. First bullpen since February before they left for Tokyo. First bullpen. He's back. He's working his way back. Dave Roberts did have this to say about Shohei Ohtani getting back to the mound. We're a ways away. So for everybody wondering and thinking, when is Shohei going to be back on the mound? We are a ways away. Originally, we were told May. There was a bit of a pause in his rehab. So if I'm giving my best guess as to when we see Shohei Ohtani back on the mound, I would say the second half of the season. Post All-Star break, we were told May. That looks to not be the case. Then that pushes into June. Then what are we talking? Give me the second half of the season to see Shohei Ohtani back on the mound. That is my best guess. But the Dodgers are rolling without him. What's the point of rushing him back? What is the point of Shohei feeling even 0.1% like, should I be doing this? There's no point. Let's just run out Tyler Glasnow, Roki Sasaki, Yamamoto, Blake Snell, Dustin May as a five starter, Kershaw at some point. What's the point? Shohei, take your time, keep hitting homers, keep having an OPS over 1,000. We'll take you back on the mound whenever you're ready. We'll see you in October on the mound. Don't rush. That's absolutely how it should be. Dodgers are 5-0. Great start to the year for the defending champions. First 5-0 start for defending champs since 1985. Let's talk. Speaking of good starts, Rafael Devers, not a good start. Now, if you remember a couple weeks ago, right before the season started, towards the end of spring training, the Boston Red Sox signed Alex Bregman. And the conversation became, okay, Bregman has said he's open and willing to playing second base. I think most people thought that's what's going to happen. Bregman's going to be the second baseman. You'll have Devers over at third. Great. But then they do sign Bregman, and the thought goes to, well, this team's way better defensively if Alex Bregman's over at third base. Why wouldn't we do that? What are we thinking here? Let's just put him there. So then that hits the public that, well, the Red Sox might have Alex Bregman over at third base. Then comes Rafi Devers saying, no, no, no. I'm the third baseman of this team. I'm going to be playing third base. They told me I would be playing third base, and it is my position. Nobody else will be playing that. So everyone's up in arms. Okay, what's happening here? I guess Bregman's not going to play third because Devers doesn't want to move, and Devers is the franchise guy. Then word comes out from Alex Cora, like, we haven't made any decisions. We're going to do what's best for the team. Then about a week later, Devers walks back his comments and says, you know what, I'm willing to DH if need be for this team. It's clear and obvious. You can't look. Alex Bregman's one of the best defenders in the game of baseball. Some of the best defensive run saves over the last couple of years. The worst defensive run saved at third base since he started playing third base is Rafi Devers. It's apples and oranges here. The Red Sox are better defensively with Alex Bregman playing over there. Then it just becomes more and more clear that, hey, it looks like the Red Sox are going to go with Bregman over there. Then it's announced Bregman's going to play third base. Rafi Devers is going to be our DH going forward. Here we are, 4 games into the year, and Rafael Devers is 0 for 16 with 12 strikeouts. 0 for 16 with 12 strikeouts. Rafi Devers struck out 10 times in the first 3 games of the season, which is an MLB record. All time. It's going miserably for Rafi Devers as the designated hitter. Now, a couple things about this. One, when it comes to Devers, I think this is mental. I think this is something mentally going through his head. He's obviously a fantastic hitter, but he didn't want to be the DH. Now he is. Then you start struggling, and next thing you know, it's spiraling. He's got to get over this. You're getting paid a boatload of money to be the guy for the Red Sox just because you're moving positions defensively and getting taken off the field defensively. You're paid what you are to hit. You got to get over this. Everything from the beginning with Devers has felt like he's handled it miserably. No, I'm third base. I'm playing third base. That's my position. And then forcefully has to walk it back. And then it's said that Rafi Devers was thinking about asking for a trade. This has been handled miserably by him. And because of his handling of it is why he's hitting this poorly to start the year. So I think he's got to grow up, figure out how to get past this, and help his team win games by producing offensively. The other side of this coin is that I myself was a guy that played outfield and DH'd professionally. I promise you, it matters. I promise you, it makes a difference. It is hard to be a designated hitter, especially when things aren't going your way, because instead of being able to punch out, go back in the dugout, put your helmet and bat down and grab your glove and go out there and play defensively, you're not doing that. You're doing all that, and then you're going into the cage, and then you're watching video, and then you're analyzing what you're doing wrong, and then you're fixating on what you're doing, and then you're driving yourself crazy instead of going out there, flipping your brain off and playing defense, and then coming back and hitting. Giancarlo Stanton once said that he hated being a designated hitter because he's just way more engaged in the outfield. And his OPS of, 900 as an outfielder suggests that. Yordan Alvarez, a 325 career batting average when playing the outfield, 285 as a designated hitter. And there's endless examples of this. It does matter. And I'm here personally to tell you, I didn't like being a DH when I was struggling because it's all you think about. When it's going well and you're playing great and you're DH for a game because they're just getting you off your feet defensively and it's, hey, we'll let somebody else play defensively. We need to keep your bat in the lineup. Let's DH you for the day. Then it's fine. But when you're struggling at the plate, when you're 0 for your last 6 with 4 punch outs, and then you're DHing and you start the game with another strikeout, it's all you think about. And it becomes mental and it's really tough. So that's what Devers is going through right now. He's going through this internal battle of being pissed off that he's the team's designated hitter, not playing third base, and he's not able to turn that page. So in one area, I feel for him. Yes, I get it. You're not DHing. You're DHing for the first time as, you're the full-time DH for the first time in your career. I get that. It's tough to figure out. But on the other side of the coin, you got to figure it out. You can't pout that you're not the third baseman anymore. You can't let it get public that you've thought about requesting a trade and thought about going somewhere else just because a better defensive third baseman has come in and is better at helping the team that way. Absolutely ridiculous. Really, really bad start to the year. 12 strikeouts in his first 16 career at bats. And hear me out. We're a weekend into the season. I would not be surprised if we start hearing Rafi Devers trade rumors here within the next month. If it's going to continue to be this bad, I would not be shocked if Rafi Devers goes public and says, you know what, I need a trade, I can't DH. It's all an excuse. You can DH. The mound's still 60 feet, 6 inches away. The pitchers are still throwing the exact same things they were last year. You have to figure it out as a batter. You have to figure out how to be a better teammate for the Boston Red Sox and be able to contribute offensively. But right now, he's not doing that. He's doing the complete opposite. Joe DiMaggio in 1941 struck out 13 times over 139 games. 13 strikeouts in 139 games. Rafi Devers, through 4 games, is at 12 strikeouts right now. Really, really bad start to the year for Rafi Devers, and a tough start to the year for the Boston Red Sox, who I have winning the AL East. Lose the series to the Rangers, or 1-3 to start the year. Let's talk the Padres-Braves series. This was the other thing this weekend. If you weren't keeping track, if you didn't know exactly what's happening around the league, this is the other big storyline for me. Padres-Braves. My World Series prediction this year is the Atlanta Braves win the World Series. Well, they're 0-4 to start the year. Padres are 4-0. Here's my question. Does this 4-0 start or 0-4 start say more about the Padres or say more about the Braves and how bad they actually might be? Well, let's start with the Padres. One, on Sunday, Nick Pivetta was absolutely gross. Nick Pivetta, late pickup for the Padres, but I really liked it at the time. I know it's early. I still really like it. Nick Pivetta was fantastic, and all of a sudden, if he's going to be good, you look up and think, well, this rotation might be a lot deeper than we thought it was. Opening series, you're able to throw Nick Pivetta out in a game 4. You have Cease, you have Michael King. Darvish isn't healthy right now, but you'll be able to get him back and Waldron back. All of a sudden, this rotation is extremely deep. This Padres bullpen with Suarez and Estrada on the back end is gross. This offense with Manny Machado and Jackson Merrill and Fernando Tatis is great without Luis Arraez even hitting. Luis Arraez doesn't have a hit yet. He's doing the same thing he did last year. Luis Arraez started the year last year 0 for 13. He's, after Sunday Night Baseball, either 0 for 12 or 0 for 13, right in that range. The exact same start. He ended up hitting 314 on the year last year. We know Luis Ariz is going to hit. This offense is already really good without him even hitting right now. So what we've learned about the Padres is that with Nick Pivetta as a four guy in the rotation's extremely deep, bullpen's nasty, offense is great and only going to get better. And they're 4-0. On the Braves side of things, really bad start to the year. 0-4, looked absolutely abysmal at the plate. Offense looks terrible. Um, Bullpen really not good. Starting pitching okay, but got hit around a little bit. Hear me out. When it comes to the Braves side of things, I couldn't care less about this 0-4 start to the season. In fact, the last time the Atlanta Braves started 0-4, they went on to win the World Series. I have the Braves winning the World Series for a reason. It's because of their starting rotation that will eventually have Spencer Strider and have Chris Sale and Schwellenbach, who looked really good in his first start, and the offense that will come around and be incredible. I have them in the World Series for that reason. Ronald Acuna Jr. will come back and be really good. None of that's happening yet. They don't have Strider back. They don't have Acuna back yet. The Chris Sale was okay in his first start, but not great. I don't worry at all about this Atlanta Braves team. Their offense is way too good, way too deep. Last time they started 0-4 in a season, they won the World Series. There's 158 games to go. I actually don't even have the Atlanta Braves winning the NL East and then going on to win the World Series. I have them getting in as a wild card and then going on to win the World Series. I still believe that to this day. I couldn't care less about their 0-4 start to the season. They will be just fine. However, I will say with the Braves, their bullpen worries me. You have to find a way to get from Spencer Strider, Chris Sale, Schwellenbach, Lopez to Raisel Iglesias. Their middle inning relief guys have really not been good. And after watching that opening series against the Padres, it is going to be an issue. It is going to be a problem. They don't have the bullpen arms between their starters and their closer to be a World Series team, in my opinion. They need help. They need some different arms, whether they do that via a trade, whether they go get an arm that's still out there in free agency, whether they bring up guys from the minor leagues. I don't know. But I do know these guys they're trotting out of the bullpen right now ain't going to cut it. It's not good enough. That's my takeaway from the Braves. I don't care that they're 0-4. They will be fine. They will be a playoff team. I still believe in them to win the World Series. The Braves are going to be totally fine. That offense is too good. This series to me does say a lot about the Padres for every reason I just mentioned. Rotation deeper than everyone thought. Bullpen is as good as I thought it was going to be. Offense is great and firing, and I think will only continue to get better. This offseason, the Padres got a lot of flack, right? The ownership issue and what's going on there, and the offseason moves and not doing enough, not adding enough, losing some pieces and not adding more here and there. In the offseason, the Dodgers, to a player, to a manager, said the best team we played in all of October was the San Diego Padres. And I look at this Padres team on opening day, opening weekend against a really good Atlanta Braves team and can't think anything other than this Padres team is still really, really good and can still easily compete with the Los Angeles Dodgers in the NL West. I do think the Dodgers win the NL West, but come playoff time, this team can certainly compete with them. So to me, this opening series, though the Braves did get swept and didn't look good, this series said more about the San Diego Padres and just how good they are. So where do the Padres end up in this week's power rankings to start the week? Well, we are about to discuss that. But first, let's do my second FanDuel Sportsbook best bet of Monday. If you're listening, game hasn't started yet. You're just in time. Take this and run with it. Let's win. First one was Philadelphia Phillies -1.5 against the Colorado Rockies in their home opener. This second one ties into that a little bit, but it's a player prop. Kyle Schwarber. Give me Kyle Schwarber 2+ total bases as my second FanDuel Sportsbook best bet for this Monday slate of games. The Phillies are facing German Marquez for the Colorado Rockies. A couple guys in this lineup that rake against him. Nick Castellanos, really good against him. JT Realmuto, really good against him. But the best of the best is Kyle Schwarber, who has faced him 14 times in his career, has 6 hits. 2 of those are homers. 4 of those are extra base hits. Has a 1.458 career OPS against German Marquez. He will be hitting at the top of that lineup. He'll either be leading off or hitting in that 4 hole, is my guess. That's what we've seen so far. So expect a lot of at-bats. I'm thinking at least 2, perhaps 3 at-bats off of Marquez. I like this a lot. Give me Kyle Schwarber 2+ total bases as my second best bet of the day. So open up FanDuel Sportsbook. Phillies -1.5 over the Rockies, and Kyle Schwarber 2+ total bases is my batter prop for the day as well. So check that out. Now it's power rankings time. We're going to go 10 through 1. I'm going to tell you who's at each spot and where they were ahead of opening day when I came out with my first power rankings. Again, it's very early in the season. We have a lot of movement because we didn't really know what these teams were going to be. Not that we're getting the best idea yet, but now we're 3 or 4 games in, so we have a little bit of an idea. Let's start at number 10, which a team that, in full disclosure, did not sniff the top 10 power rankings before the year started, but they're undefeated. That's the St. Louis Cardinals. 3-0 start to the year. They were not ranked last week. Here they are at 3-0. Good start to the year. Arenado with a homer. You got Wilson Contreras out there eating his tape on his bat. The Cardinals have come to play. Lars Nootbaar out there playing really well. Hit a homer. Had a couple extra base hits. Timely hitting for them. Ryan Helsley, their closer, out there painting 102. Cardinals at number 10 for this week. At number 9, staying where they were at number 9 last week, the Baltimore Orioles. 2-2 start against the Toronto Blue Jays. Really, really good offensively. This team, it became apparent. They're going to rake. They are going to have troubles pitching. That's what we expected. That's why they're staying put here at number 9. Moving on to number 8, another team that was not ranked last week. Give me the Texas Rangers. Rangers are 3-1, taking down a Boston Red Sox team that I am pretty high on this year. Red Sox are talented. Rangers looked really good. Rangers are 3-1 to start the year. Jacob deGrom had a really good start in his first start of the year on the weekend. Looked really good. This team, this isn't a surprise to anyone. If Jacob deGrom is pitching and can stay in the rotation, it helps this team exponentially. It really lengthens that. I don't even want to say lengthens the rotation. If Jacob deGrom is healthy, he's a number 1 type of guy. But they have him slotted in as a 4 guy right now just because he's working his way back. What are you going to get? Well, he looked really good. That changes everything for this team if he's good. The biggest question marks for the Texas Rangers for me coming into the year was a rotation that had Nady Eovaldi and then question mark. Well, Jack Leiter answered those question marks. He was throwing 100, his best start of his career to start the season. He looked good in spring training. Really good start to the year. Jacob deGrom, another question mark. He looked really good as well. Rotation, 1 series in, so far is starting to answer those question marks. So I moved them into the top 10 here at number 8. At number 7, down from number 6, the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2-2 start to the year. Nothing great, nothing terrible. Played a Cubs team that lost the Tokyo series. We didn't know a ton about them, but Cubs looked better than they did in Tokyo. But the D-backs, 2-2 start, moved them down 1 spot. At number 6, I'm going to go New York Mets, who were 4th. I moved them down 2 spots. New York Mets, tough offensive start to the year. They're hitting 136 as a team, a 1-2 start. Soto looked pretty good in that opening series, hit his first homer, had a couple extra base hits as well in the series, couple walks, as Soto does. Soto looked good. Lindor, once again, starting year, not able to hit. Rest of the offense has not figured it out yet. So I did bump down the Mets 2 spots to number 6. Bumped up to number 5 from number 8, ahead of the Mets, who beat them in the series, the Houston Astros. Astros are 2-1, took down a really good Mets team. Here's my thoughts on the Astros. The Astros lineup, with the additions of Isaac Paredes, Christian Walker, Cam Smith, I think will be huge. Just watching this team, I thought they looked really, really good, specifically because of what Paredes brings at the top of the lineup, hitting ahead of a guy like Yordan Alvarez, a guy that works the count more than anybody else in the game of baseball. Christian Walker behind Yordan does the same thing. I just feel a bit of a different approach. This is not the same Astros team from last year. This is not the same Astros team from the last 5 to 7 years. It's a totally different look. It's a totally different feel, but this team feels really good. I really like the new additions. I think Cam Smith is going to be really good, but specifically, we know what we're getting from Altuve. We know what we're getting from Yordan. The additions of Paredes and Walker on either side of those guys, to me, just gives a totally different feel to this offense. They have the ability to slow down an inning, put some pitches in a pitcher, and then do damage from there. I really like the way the offense has looked. The Astros rotation was able to silence a really good Mets offense. You have Framber looking really good on opening day. Hunter Brown game 2. Arrighetti. Astros rotation is going to be really good. Offense to me looks really good as well. I have the Astros in the World Series. I still feel pretty good about that. Look, it's early in the year. Who cares, right? But they did look really good in Series 1, and I bumped them up from number 8 to number 5. At number 4, down from number 2, the Philadelphia Phillies. Look, this is pretty simple. You played a Nationals team that I don't think is going to be great this year. You went 2-1. Offense looked okay at times, not great at others, really good at sometimes. Look, this isn't not a huge movement. Just move them from 2 to 4 because they didn't absolutely dominate a Nationals team. So, Phillies at number 4. At number 3, the New York Yankees, up from number 7. So 4 spots up. The Yankees offense, historically good start to the year. Back-to-back-to-back homers on 3 pitches to start Saturday's game. That's never before happened in history. 20 runs scored on Saturday. 30 plus runs on the series. Absolutely incredible start to the season offensively, which did cover up some pitching problems and some defensive problems, but I digress. You put up 20 runs in a game, you're not going to be talking about all that. Offense looked really good. New York Yankees and their torpedo bats up from number 7 to number 3. At number 2, I'm going those San Diego Padres 4-0 start. First time since 1984. Second time in history that they've started 4-0. Rotation deeper than we thought. Really good bullpen. Really great offense, in my opinion. Deep offense. I told you before the year, Gavin Sheets was going to be a sleeper, a sleepy good pickup for the Padres. Good start to the year for him as well. Padres look great, complete, full team. They're up from number 5 to number 2. At number 1, Los Angeles Dodgers, 5-0 start. First 5-0 start for a defending champion since 1985. Historically good. Fantastic offense. Fantastic rotation. Fantastic bullpen. They have not come close to figuring it all out yet. They are not firing on all cylinders. In fact, I wouldn't even say they're playing great. And yet they're undefeated. They're 5-0. They're staying here at number 1 in my power ranking. So to kick off this new week of the season, from 10 to 1, we're going Cardinals, Orioles, Rangers, D-backs, Mets, Astros, Phillies, Yankees, Padres, Dodgers. Those are our power rankings. What a first week. What a first weekend. You have the San Francisco Giants. You have Justin's first start as a San Francisco Giant coming over the weekend on Saturday. Fun fact about that, Justin's first start came on Saturday. Parents go up for that start. As you all know, Elizabeth is also, my fiance, is from Cincinnati. Parents go up for that start. They end up going to the game with Elizabeth's parents. They all hung out, first time meeting. It was all perfect. Justin threw well. They met and hung out. Great situation. Justin, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 5 strikeouts, got up to 96, a little over 96 miles an hour in his first start. As he said after the game, felt really good. Just nice to be able to have a full spring training and then go into a season healthy. Obviously, wishes he could have a pitch back to McLean, who he gave up a homer to. Felt good, felt healthy, felt it was a good start to build off of. Typically, if it wasn't his first start of the year, would have probably gone another inning. Then you're talking 6 innings. Hopefully he gets out of that. But good first start to the year for Justin in a Giants uniform. Giants are 2-1, looked really good in that opening series against the Reds. High on the Reds, and I told you before the year started, I'm higher on the Giants than most people. Is that because Justin's on the team? No, it's not. It's because the rotation's fantastic. Robbie Ray looked really good in spring training, looks back to his Cy Young stealth. Logan Webb, Justin Verlander, Robbie Ray, Jordan Hicks, nasty everywhere you look. I really think this Giants team can surprise some people. 2-1 start. They looked really good to start the year. Justin, good first start as well. So baseball is off and running. In case you missed it over the weekend, this is really everything you need to know. The Yankees, if you're anywhere and you hear anybody talking about the torpedo bats, you now know what we're talking about. The Yankees are using them. A few guys on that team. It's starting to spread around baseball. I would expect to see more and more torpedo bats around the game of baseball here over the next couple of weeks. But thank you all for listening. The season is now off and running. We'll have a couple more episodes coming at you over the next couple of days, so stay alert and ready there. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you listen to your podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you listen. It does really help when you hit that subscribe button, rate it 5 stars. If you want to watch, you can watch everything we do here on Flippin' Bats on our YouTube channel, the Flippin' Bats Pod YouTube channel. Subscribe, leave a comment there. I love hopping in the comments and talking back to you guys. And we're on all social media at Flippin' Bats Pod, anywhere you want to follow along. Season's off and running. Things are rolling. A lot is happening, and I can't wait to continue to talk to you guys about it all year long. 2025, the year of Flippin' Bats. Going to be a big one. It already is. Baseball is back and rolling, my friends, and I can't wait to talk all about it all year long right here. So subscribe, follow, anywhere you can think about it, and I'll be back soon to talk to you more about what's happening around the game of baseball. I love you all. Enjoy today. Enjoy Monday. Go Phillies -1.5 over the Rockies. And Kyle Schwarber 2+ total bases are our Monday best bets. Check those out on FanDuel Sportsbook. Love you all. Enjoy the games. Until next time, my friends, remember, find your bat and flip it. Peace.